Frontal lobe.
Hmm?
It starts with the frontal lobe.
So the frontal lobe, I could have kept them together.
That was together.
But whether they're together or apart, you should still be able to tell the frontal lobe. So the frontal lobe extends to almost halfway back. So the models usually are going to have some landmark so you can identify where the frontal lobe ends and the parietal lobe begins. So here, from the red forward is frontal. And on this one, from the red forward is frontal lobe. And same here, from the red forward. And here, just the orange is frontal lobe.
RTO.
Parietal
Right.
is the lobe posterior to the frontal lobe. So that's going to start with the blue one here. So that part is parietal. And the same here, so but it starts with purple. Okay, and extends back to occipital, which starts where it's yellow. So the yellow and green is occipital lobe. And you see that here as well. So this part is occipital. So you see number 28, you'll write down on your paper what? Occipital lobe.
Temporal.
And then the temporal is on the side. There, and then here, and then here. Let me show you something else. So I could have, you see where I have number 31. What if I had number 31 right there? It's the temporal lobe. So you may have to pick it up and look at it, okay? So that's the temporal. So make sure you look at the different views of it.
Central sulcus.
And the central sulcus divides the frontal lobe from the parietal. So the sulci or the sulcus would be a groove. So this space here is the central sulcus. There. And where is it here?
The red.
The sulcus is a crease, right? So it's between the frontal and parietal lobe. So it's that groove.
So how would you know it?
Usually I'll just have a number and it will be pointing to the crease there. So I could put this number 31 there and then just have an arrow pointing to the crease. And usually I'll say the crease or something like that. So where is it here? Very good, right there. Okay.
Lateral sulcus.
And lateral sulcus, what does lateral mean? Lateral?
Like on the side?
On the sides, good. So this will be the lateral sulcus. So again, the sulci is plural. So you find the sulci are creases. Okay. And so where is it here? The lateral sulcus. Yeah, right here. And then on this one? Yeah, good.
Partio occipital sulcus.
Parietal.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. The parietal occipital sulcus is going to be between where the parietal lobe ends and the occipital lobe begins. And here you just go by the colors. So there, here would be the easiest place to do it because you actually see the crease. Okay, parietal occipital sulcus. And then matches that line.
Longitudinal fissure.
Longitudinal fissure separates the two hemispheres. So this is a longitudinal fissure there. Yeah.
Transverse cerebral fissure.
Transverse cerebral fissure is this space between the cerebrum and the cerebellum.
Precentral gyrus.
So the precentral gyrus. So if you remember the red one we looked at here, the very last part of the frontal lobe is the precentral gyrus. Remember what this was called? Central sulcus. So that name tells you what it is, right? So if you know where the central sulcus is, pre means what? Before. So it's before the central sulcus. So it's called precentral gyrus. And where is it here? This one.
Well, it was still pre.
Yeah.
before.
Right, so this is the central sulcus, so this would be the precentral gyrus. And this would be the precentral gyrus. And what about here? This would be the precentral gyrus. And of course the post-central gyrus is, post means after, so it's behind the central sulcus, so it's the gyrus posterior to the central sulcus. Post-central gyrus and post-central gyrus. Central gyrus.
Corpus callosum.
Alright, that's when you go to the inside. I think that's all on the outside. Alright, so corpus callosum, that's this part. So it extends all the way around. And here. And here. So that's actually the part of the brain that holds the two hemispheres together. The corpus callosum. Cingulate gyrus. Okay. So you have the corpus callosum, and then superficial to that you have the cingulate gyrus. So the colors are really helpful here. So this is the cingulate gyrus. And where is it on that one?
The yellow.
The yellow. Very good. And this one. So this will be the cingulate gyrus, and this will be the corpus callosum.
Cerebrum.
So the cerebrum is the main part of the brain, this part. Okay.
So all that. I mean, how would you
The
label
cerebrum?
that? Mm-hmm.
I probably know.
I'm just curious.
Yeah. But you need to
Cerebellum.
know it. Now the cerebellum will be labeled. So this is the
Okay.
cerebellum. So from that view or this view, usually I have it in this view. So where is it here?
33.
And here? Okay.
Midbrain.
And the midbrain. So the midbrain is part of the brainstem, the most superior part of the brainstem. And so it's that part. The next part starts when you get to the hump. So just the part of the brainstem above that hump. That looks like a P to me. The hump on a P, like the pons. So this is the pons. 31 is the pons. So on here, where's the midbrain? Yeah, so this part up here. So just think above that P part. Okay, and what about here?
Like the almost underneath the blue.
Under the blue, right, so this part. And what about this one? Midbrain.
Like, right here.
Okay, yeah, right, good.
Medulla oblongata.
The medulla oblongata is the most caudal or inferior part of the brainstem. So below the pons. It'll be there, that part there.
Thalamus.
The thalamus. So the thalamus, if you're in the area of the corpus callosum, you kind of have this area, which is where space is, the ventricles. But then this big part here is the thalamus. And below it is the what?
Hypothalamus.
Hypothalamus. What does the word hypothalamus mean? Below the thalamus. Okay, so thalamus, hypothalamus. And where are they here? So this would be
The
thalamus
and then hypo.
and hypothalamus. And then thalamus and hypothalamus. Over here, thalamus
Pituitary gland.
So none of these models have a pituitary gland except this one. Yeah. Well, you know they won't be on those models. So
And it's just a little nod.
yeah, that's just representative of the pituitary.
The cerebral aqueduct.
Cerebral aqueduct
Aqueduct, yeah.
is this part here. So these are the ventricles. Cerebral spinal fluid runs through there. These spaces. I like this one better because it's deeper. So there's space that the CSF runs through. And the cerebral aqueduct is here. And from there, the fluid goes into this space, which is the what? The fourth ventricle. And then it goes down through the spinal cords. What's in the spinal cord? The central canal. So it continues down through the central canal. So cerebral aqueduct here. Where is it on there? Right.
The blue.
Yeah, but not when you get down to the wide part. When you get to the wide part,
This is the fourth ventricle.
that's the fourth ventricle. So this would be cerebral aqueduct, and this would be fourth ventricle. Okay.
Third ventricle.
Yeah, third ventricle is up higher. So this is a fourth. And here is a fourth.
So up a little higher, you would consider
The
that.
third ventricle, yeah, I put that on the list, but the models don't really show that well. The third ventricle is gonna be up in this space. But I would call that the thalamus and hypothalamus, so that won't be on there.
So we just need to worry about
Yeah,
the
cross that out. And then there are some cranial nerves too.
Olfactory
that I'm gonna tell y'all
bulb.
to- So the olfactory bulb is here. It's the olfactory bulb. Can you see it there? Yep.
The white.
And on these, yeah, this yellow on here and orange there.
Olfactory tract.
And the olfactory tract is the nerve. So the bulb is really just the tip. Okay.
Optic nerve.
And the optic nerve, let's see. So for those, it's usually easier to see when they're put together. Let's see here. So just above the olfactory tracts, you have the optic nerve. These are the optic nerves. And let's see if I can put this one together. So I think we did all the parts on the inside. So that's the optic nerves. And notice the numbers. You all just learned the cranial nerves. So you all know what one is. Cranial nerve 1 and cranial nerve 2.
Optic.
And you can see the other ones. The other ones I don't put on there. I think I may have.
You have optic charisma next.
Yeah, the optic chiasm. It's kind of it's a cross, yeah. So it's kind of where this cross happens. If you look in there, you can see. If you were looking at it as an X, this would be the bottom part of the X, and this. So at the where they cross is called the chiasm. So that's kind of in the middle.
So how was you able to?
I probably won't.
Probably or
Unless I probably won't. I want you all to know it,
right.
which is why I want you to learn it that way. But I could put something right there in the middle of all of that. So it's kind of right there in the middle. Okay? So the optic nerve, optic chiasm is the X, and then the optic tracts run posterior toward the occipital lobe. Okay? Is optic tract on there? Yeah. So you can see that after the X, kind of the lower part of the the X is the optic tract. So optic nerve is anterior. Then you have the chiasm in the middle, and the optic tract is posterior.
Trigeminal nerve.
Yeah, and that's where I don't do that because it's hard to identify them on the models. So you can scratch that one off.